Hi guys, I'm Karen Blacher. I decided that for my next series of tutorials I'm going to move away from the curly girly stuff, even though that's the stuff that I really enjoy, to some designs for boys, because I find that's what all of us tend to be lacking. It's hard to come up with an equivalent number of designs for boys to the ones you have for girls, because girls love the butterflies and the swirls and the curly swirly girlies. So I actually offer a whole line of superhero faces for boys. And superhero faces can be a little bit tricky because a lot of superheroes either don't wear masks or they wear masks, but the mask has nothing identifying on this part of the face. Like Batman has the ears at the top, the Flash has lightning bolts at the sides. So I've created a line of masks that are not the masks worn by the superheroes in the comics, but that suggest the superheroes. If you can see, my cat just jumped up on the chair behind me. I apologize. This is my cat. Hi, cat. We're going to continue and hopefully she's not going to do that again. Alright, the one I'm going to show you first is my Superman mask. And yes, Superman doesn't wear a mask, but if a kid comes and sits at your table and asks to be Superman, you can't draw a curl in the middle of his forehead and be done. So I've created a mask around Superman's emblem. You could do the emblem alone as a cheek art, or if you have a little more time, or if the kid wants something a little more dramatic, you can do it as a mask. So I'm going to show you the emblem first. I'm using a number 4 round brush. And I'm starting with some DFX metallic yellow and dropping my sponge in my lap. I'm just having an off day. Alright, here we go. My yellow looks a little goopy. I might need more water, but I'm going to try this. Okay, you begin the Superman emblem. If you're doing it as a cheek art, obviously you do it here. If you're doing the mask, it goes right between the eyes. Superman's emblem starts with, a lot of people think it's an upside down triangle, but it's not. If you want it to look like a Superman shield, it's an upside down triangle with flattened edges. Let me show you the shape here. You cut straight across. You've got a flattened edge on both sides, and then it comes down to a point. So it's more like a diamond shape. Not a diamond like a sideways square, a diamond like, you know, the ones you wear on your finger. So I'm just going to fill that in now with my DFX metallic gold. Metallic yellow, not metallic gold. Do not do this in gold. Gold is too much. Metallic is fun. But this definitely requires a yellow. Preferably like a mustardy yellow and not a lemony yellow. That's a little bit messy, but it doesn't matter because we're going to outline it anyway. Yeah, that'll do just fine. So make sure those edges are kind of sharp. Okay. And once I've got that filled in, I'm going to come back in with some DFX red. Now forgive me because I am painting this backwards on myself in a mirror, so I'm going to try really, really hard not to make the S backwards. We will see. Here we go. First, I'm going to outline this shape with my red. Trying not to mix it with my yellow because I would really rather have a red here than an orange. Okay, so there's that. Just nice, straight, even strokes. Try to keep it of uniform thickness. Alright, and now comes the tricky part. Alright, making an S look like a Superman S, there are certain elements that have to be included in it. It's very difficult to talk while painting on your forehead, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint it, and then I'm going to show you the individual elements that you need to concentrate on. I'm hoping that I'm doing this in a place where you can see it. Oh, and I almost did it backwards. Okay. Alright, this would be a little neater if I were doing it on somebody else, but I think that's pretty good for backwards on myself. Alright, now let me show you the elements of this S that are important. Alright, What makes a Superman S different from a regular S, first, at the top, it begins with a V with a flattened bottom. It goes from thin to fat to thin. The top and bottom are thin. It thickens at the curves. And this is the really important part, and this is the part that it took me a long time to figure out that was why my S's weren't looking right, is that the Superman S comes down at about like a little less than a 45-degree angle. This is a completely straight line. Neither side bulges. Make sure there's no curves in this line. Completely straight line down. It's fat at the curves. It comes skinny again, and it touches the edges here. It should touch at every curve. At this one, you see I didn't quite, I sort of made it there. But every curve touches the red edge. So you start at the red edge and you finish at the red edge, and at the end here you put a little oval at the very bottom of the S. So that's how you make the Superman S shield. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come in, I'm using a Snazaroo Royal Blue. I'm actually looking to switch off of Snazaroo. I'm not a huge fan of Snazaroo, so if any of you have a Royal Blue that you use that you really like, do me a favor and post below, because I am looking to purchase one. And I'm unimpressed with the DFX colors that I've seen. I want a really bright royal blue. You're going to see this is a Superman blue. So, Snazaroo Royal Blue. I'm just going to outline. Oh, that was not good. There are no mistakes in face painting. I can fix it. Okay. You know what it is? I'm doing this a little further away from my mirror than I'd like so you folks can see. So I'm outlining in the royal blue. Now if you're doing this as cheek art, you do this and you're done. Or you can make the royal blue into like a rectangle on the cheek. But definitely put it on a royal blue shield, on a royal blue field. Please don't just leave the emblem, even if you're only doing it as cheek art. The blue just makes it. So I'm going to do the royal blue. Now to turn this into a mask, I'm going to do the outline of my mask here. Okay. I'm going to bring it down to a point over my nose. I don't do this the same way every time. It doesn't really matter what shape the mask is, since Superman does not in fact wear one. Just pick something that looks super heroic, and that's not going to take you forever to do. So I like to bring it down in a V over the top of my nose. And then I just bring it down around the eyes. And I'm going to do the same thing at the other side. So it's almost like a helmet rather than a mask. And then I'm just going to fill that in with a sponge with the same color. I'm going to fill it in all the way up to the hairline. It's a lot easier on little boys who don't have hair hanging in their faces. Which isn't all of them these days. Long hair is making a comeback. But anyway, it's easier on them than it is on me. It's also easier, I find, because they have much smaller faces. Sometimes I don't even use the sponge. When I'm doing a child, they have such teeny tiny faces. I will just do my outline with a 3/4 flat brush and fill in with the same brush so I don't have to put it down and load up something else. Because their faces are so tiny that there's really not much differentiation between the edge and the filling in. So there's that. There is one variation on my Superman mask. And like I said, I don't always do the mask the same shape. Sometimes I do bring it up under the eyes. Sometimes I don't make it quite so pointy. But there is a Superman mask. And I like to glitter. Not all the little boys want glitter, but if you can talk them into it, it tends to look really good. So I'm going to put a little glitter just on the S shield. Just on the emblem. Or you could do it just on the blue field and leave the emblem without, but I like it to highlight the emblem. And there you have it, a Superman mask. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you can use it. Thank you.